Welcome to Cozy Corner with Courtney. This is the 8th episode. I'm your host, Courtney. I knit and I've got a lot of things to share with you, so let's get right on into it. Let's start off with finished objects. The first one I'm going to show you guys is the one that I thought that I'd wear. It's made like at the start of spring, but it's not the spring doodle. It's the floral doodle, and I actually finished it on the day of the equinox. So I know the equinox occurred at nighttime, but I also finished this cowl around nighttime. So it almost feels like right as winter was wrapping up, I was finishing making my cowl. So it's the floral doodle. It's not the spring doodle. Jamie Lomax of Pacific Knit Co. has a whole, a different pattern, a different group of patterns, of micro patterns called the spring doodle. This one is the floral, and honestly, this might be one of my favorite finished objects ever. I mean, I think the micro doodles kind of speak for themselves. If you're someone like me who loves color work and I love the look of it when it's so complex, I think it looks great. I really like that traditional Scandinavian style as well. This is the project for me, okay? It really scratches that itch. And then because it's so flexible, you can really make it however you want. And if you've stuck around on my channel for a little while, you know that I love pastels, and I really do love pastels. So I was really glad that I got to put a lot of beautiful pastel colors into it, while at the same time using a little bit of that yellow to give it a nice pop. Yes. So lovely. Yeah, thank you, Jamie Lomax of Pacific Knit Co. for just releasing such a beautiful design. And I'm gonna show you this yellow here is some of my last. I am down to just one tiny scrap left of my 2022 Pineapple Coast Advent Calendar. It was the last group of advent calendars, I should say, that Marina of Pineapple Yarn Company died, and before announcing that she was going to step away from dying. So there you have it. Beautiful. I really like how the yellow adds that pop of color. I'm so thankful just to have been able to make it, to have the time and space, the resources, the wherewithal, all of the things that we as artists have to have, to be able to make art the way we want to. I mean, I feel like I've just been so blessed, and I'm so thankful, and I'm so happy that I made this and I get to live another day and I get to create again. It's always a good day when we get to create, especially when we get to create something so unique to us, right? Now Jamie has a bunch of different ribbing options, basically, if you look at the pattern online. And I chose to follow the instructions this time for corrugated rib. I'm so pleased with how it turned out. I really truly am, not only in the look of it, because here I got to add a little extra pop of the color, and this is the Pineapple Coast Advent. I used up a few scraps towards the end. You can see it's a little more yellow at the end, a little more orange up here. So yeah, I did use 4 different scraps, probably 4 different pieces of Pineapple Coast Advent Calendar yarn here. And then up here, I think I was mostly down to just 2 larger pieces left. But okay, back to corrugated rib. It provides an excellent pop of color, but also if you're someone like me, I love my baking doodle cowl. I love it. It was the first doodle cowl that I got to knit, doodle pattern ever that I got to knit. And I did do twisted rib on it. because that seemed to be like the default option, and I was like, sure, you know, I'm getting into this, let me just, you know, get the rib like going and get into the pattern, right? I did not realize, like, I don't know, you know, I didn't really realize how much more easy it was. Like, it's not really taking anything away to do corrugated rib instead, honestly. And I thought there would even have to be like a setup row for this, and in Jamie's instructions there wasn't, and I think it came out like pretty good. Like, it doesn't, you know, like, I don't really feel like it's missing anything. This is right at the round there, but yeah. So corrugated rib was easier for me, like, not easier, I should say, but like it didn't really add too much like extra, you just have to think about changing your color with each stitch. But it's not like you have to follow a chart or anything. Like, it's of course not like other types of color work, you know, like it's pretty just, yeah. So there's that. As far as like ease of construction, the corrugated rib instructions were very accessible to me. I love the feeling, like, I don't know if it's because I did twisted rib on the other one, or maybe it's because this one has a slightly larger gauge. I really don't know, but there's just something about it that, like, it slides over my glasses so much easier. And I think it might be that the corrugated rib, oh, you know, part of it too is that I used size 5 needles for the whole thing. So I didn't do smaller needles at the top, and that might also be why. But I think in general, corrugated rib tends to lie a little bit flatter than twisted rib, and I don't know, don't quote me on that, but like, sorry. Yay, I really love it. I did get to wear it for the first time when we went on a walk today, because it was a little like unseasonably cool compared to how it's been in Arkansas lately. So I was really glad I got to wear it for a walk. Whether it's due to this being corrugated rib rather than twisted rib, which it may be, and also in combination with me using size 5 needles for the whole thing rather than 3 and 5 like I did for the baking doodle cowl. It seems to go on like a lot more smooth. Like, I just feel it going like smoother over my face, and I really like that. Yes. So thank you for sticking around while I chatted about my floral doodle cowl. Next, I'm going to show you some pictures on the screen about something that we've been doing, which the girls and I call Gnome a Day Spring Break. Okay, so Gnome a Day Spring Break was inspired by Natalie's 200, okay, when I say Natalie, I mean Natalie of Knitty Natty, and her podcast is the Love and Stitches podcast. My project, Gnome a Day Spring Break, was inspired by something that she mentioned in episode 220 of the Love and Stitches podcast. And it was basically the pattern No Fun Like Gnome Fun. It's a pattern by Sarah Shira of Imagined Landscapes, and I knew when I saw it that I just had to have it. And my girls also thought that it would be something fun to do. And pretty quickly, I went from making the tiniest gnome in worsted weight to like basically committing to making a gnome every day of spring break. So that's been fun. These gnomes are really fun too. They're really little and really cute, and also they work up really quickly, which is excellent if you're planning to commit to making one every day. That said, I did miss a day on Monday I was wanting to dedicate more time and attention to my floral doodle so that I could really spend some time working on that, and I'm so glad that I did. But now I'm thinking that tomorrow I might make 2 of the smaller size gnomes to make up for the fact that I missed a day. Okay, I'm gonna put some gnomes up on the screen. The first one that we made was niblet and worsted weight. And then the next day was actually St. Patty's Day, so we chose to make a larger gnome, still relatively small, I think, compared to some of Sarah's other gnome patterns. This one is called, the pattern name is Noah. We decided to call him Clover. And then I already mentioned on Monday I didn't make a gnome, but on Tuesday I squeezed like I had everybody stay up an extra hour basically so that I could finish a gnome after I finished my floral doodle. So we were up pretty late on Tuesday night. And I created this guy right here, very cute. But then like around Wednesday, the girls were saying that they did want like a girl gnome, and I was like, I feel like the beard is kind of part of it, you know, but maybe she could like wear like a fake beard to blend in with the other gnomes. And they were like, you know, maybe. But when I asked like, okay, I'm about to do like the nose and the beard and everything, and my daughter was like, I don't want it to have a beard. I was like, okay. So when I made yesterday's gnome, today's Thursday, so when I made Wednesday's gnome, I was able to remember, thankfully, from the night before. Thankfully, I was able to remember how to do the French knot. If you don't remember, it's not that big a deal because Sarah has an amazing like tutorial for a French knot, and even for the duplicate stitch embroidery on Niblet, the tiniest gnome. Like, it's awesome. I would like highly recommend her patterns because these techniques are explained like all the way through. And yeah, it was really great to be able to find that. Thankfully, at this point, I had only done the French knot nose twice, once for the gnome that I made on Saturday, and then for the gnome that I made on Tuesday night. But thankfully, by Wednesday, I remembered how to do the French knot. I remembered like how I had to figure out, you know, how it works in my brain, and then I just did that. And so that was great. It does kind of, because the nose is pink and the body is pink, it does kind of look like she's just a pink gnome that has no clothes. I might actually make some clothes for them later on because Sarah has pattern, I think it's called Never Naked Gnomes. And it has like little sweaters and clothes and even like a pretty dress and things, and especially because I wanted this to be a girl gnome, I think they would love like a pretty dress. Yeah, so there we go. Also, oh, the cats found a home on my whip. Okay. Yes, so that was Wednesday's gnome. Today, just before recording this, actually while I watched episode 221 of the Love and Stitches podcast, I was able to create today's gnome. So I'll throw a picture of her up on the screen. At this point, my daughter did say that she wanted her to have a fake beard, like a fake beard that she wears just to blend in with the other gnomes, you know? So that's what we have going on here. But as you see, she's definitely a girl gnome. And that was our addition to Gnome a Day Spring Break. So this Making Gnomes project will continue maybe through Monday, we'll see. And I know spring break kind of officially closes then, so we'll see exactly what I try to do with that. And I'm really hoping to make like the Grimblewoods castle. I know Sarah is having a make along on Instagram until April 11th. So for the Grimblewoods design, I might be able to like purchase it and make it and post it in time to like participate in the make along, which I think would be fun. And the kids did like specifically ask for a castle too, so that will be awesome. Yay! As far as current works in progress, I really only have one thing to show you. My Dragon Rider's cowl has been in hibernation a bit this week. And so this is my Boneyard shawl. I have taken this out of hibernation a bit. This is what it looks like when it's kind of stretched out, like when it's opened up. I think it might be at about 17.5 inches right now, so I probably need it to be about 10 more inches deep to be like the size that it's intended to be. And I do want it to be big and cozy, so I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep trucking. Yep, and these last three are the colors from Daisy Stitch Company that I ordered in February and added in before I was able to go and retrieve my yarn stash. Now that I have my yarn stash, there's a couple of different things that I could do with it. I could continue adding about one color per section as I have been. What I was planning to do though was once I ran out of scraps, I was planning to add in like a whole ball of a beautiful colorway that I have from Lola Bean Yarn Company. Here, let me show it to you real quick. I know I showed you this colorway before because I started the Doodler shawl with it, and then I frogged that in front of you in episode 2. So I think that was when you saw this colorway last. But now we're gonna give it life again as a potential add-on to our Scrappy Boneyard shawl. And you know what, I kind of like the idea of doing this because this is my first shawl pattern from Stephen West. If I would have finished the Doodler shawl, that one would have been my first too. But since I frogged that, this is going to be my first shawl from Stephen West. And this is also yarn that I bought from Stephen West's store in Amsterdam. The colorway is Lola Bean Yarn Co. And if you can see, it has like some of the purples and blues and whites that are found in their logo. So I just think that is so much fun. It's like a self-titled colorway, I think, kind of like a singer will have a self-titled album. So I'm wondering if I want to add in I wonder if I want to add in a whole lot of this colorway, or if I want to keep adding like maybe just one stripe of this colorway and then like little sections of different colors at a time. I'm trying to make up my mind. If you have suggestions, please let me know in the comments down below. I so appreciate it. All right, thank you guys so much. Thank you for all you do. If you are subscribed to me on YouTube, thank you. If you are not subscribed, please consider doing so because I love to make this type of content for you. And if there's anything else that you'd like to see, please drop a comment down below and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much. I hope you guys have a great week. You can follow me on Instagram also. My Instagram's down below. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.